The following program is a production of Naleo TV.
Aloha! Welcome to Polymer Play with me, Barbara. Today we're going to be building 3 really cool designs using contrasting colors in black and white. And ultimately, we're going to make these earrings and a really cool pendant to match. So I'm just going to jump right in. And the first cane we're going to do is building a rice cane. I'm using black and white because it's such classic colors, but all these patterns can be done with any 2 contrasting colors. All right, I got my clay all sheeted up this morning with my dough sheeter, or you can use a pasta machine. And I'm going to start by rolling the center of the rice cane. And you'll understand why it's a rice cane in just a moment. I want to even out that line, make this nice and smooth so you can't see where the transition is. I'm going to cut my ends so I've got nice clean lines. Okay. Then I'm going to take my black clay and measure the length that I need to wrap it. Again, cut the end off. So if you've noticed from this class and other classes, we do a lot of wrapping. And when we wrap the clay, it's really important that we don't overlap the clay. We want this to just come right up and meet. And then just kind of pinch it together. Whoop. The reason why you don't want an overlap is if this went over to this side, I'd have a thicker black mark right here, and we don't want to have that. Okay. So now we've got our tube nicely wrapped. This is also known as a bullseye cane. And we're going to even it out. And this is fun. Today we're going to get to use a roller. You guys haven't gotten to do that with me yet. So I'm going to give this a tug. The clay is soft, so it's coming down pretty easy. And I'm going to need to get this about at least twice as long as what I have here. Now, as I notice that the ends start to get funky, I like to clean them, keep my edges clean so I can always see what's going on inside. Plus, if you don't keep them clean, you're doing extra work for areas that you're just going to cut off anyway. So you might as well save your hands. Oh my gosh, it's so great. The clay gets to this certain softness and it just pulls down so beautifully. Okay, so now I've got this. And I'm going to use my roller. Let's see. And, whoops, I'm going to start to try and flatten this. My goal is to kind of make this into an oblong rice shape, hence the idea of a rice cane. And ultimately, we're going to take 4 rice canes and make it into a basket weave. It's great for borders and different background designs. So I'm trying to get this flat. Now, sometimes stuff sticks to the table. Basically, when it does, you just want to scrape it off. You can use your blade, just do a quick little thing like that. And just try and keep your table clean. Okay, now that I have this long cane, and I want to keep it all pretty much the same size, best I can, I'm going to cut my ends off, make sure I can see the black evenly all the way around. Again on the other side. Yep, evenly all the way around. I'm going to give it one last little squeeze all the way down to make it flat. A little flatter. Now the easiest way to cut it in half is to take it and find the center, and then take it and find the center. Those two are going to go on top. Whoops. We've got this one. Okay, so now we have 4. It's okay if they're all different sizes. Okay, those are our rice canes. We're going to squeeze these down. And oh, this is going to be cool. See how they're getting more rice-like? Our goal here is we're going to be stacking them into something like this. So I've got to even them out a little. Ultimately, right now it's a rectangle, but we need it to be a square. So I've got to push it down a little bit more. You can use parts of your hands like this, putting pressure down. Again, clean your sides. This is a cool way you can make like a Valhalla concept if you do this in 4s. Okay, so now I'm going to cut it in the middle again. Yep, and then I'm going to cut it in the middle again. So I've got 4. And then I'm going to stack them oppositely. So we've got 1, 2, 3, and 4. Look how cool that is. That's awesome. Okay. Again, we're reducing the cane. It's good when you do this type of a roll to just like make it all at one time, because now our clay is soft because we've been working it, and ultimately that's going to make it come down quicker and easier. Okay, so that's the first part of our cane. And taking down a square is a little bit different than taking down a circle, because you can't squeeze it in the same way. You need to keep all 4 sides square. Okay, that's that. And we're going to end up pulling it down to that size. Now the next one we're going to do is we're going to make our flower. And for our flower, we've rolled out our center like I did last time. We're going to use a black slice. We're going to taper our ends. And we're going to roll it around and taper. Right? And then take our white and go around that. See, I don't go all the way around. This is this one where now we're building this cane. I'm going to go beyond the black and beyond the black. And then one more. We'll do one more black, because remember, we always want to have the last part of our roll in the color that it's going to end in, and this is going to end in black, so we want to have this end in black. Again, we're going to take this, wrap it around, taper the side, cut out on the center. Check the other side, make sure we did it right. Open it up. We can take our piece that we had. Oh, it's already cut at a diagonal. That's awesome. Slide it in there. And then I can just trim the excess. And now we have our petal. Now if you remember, when we're taking our petal down, we want to squeeze it and compact it and get it just how we want it. We can roll it a little to even it out, but we don't want to roll it all the way because we need to keep this line straight. Super important. So once we pull this down, we'll be able to shape it into our 5 petals and put that back together. This is when you get your arm work out. Okay, almost there. You know, sometimes when I'm doing rolls and I can't get them to come down quick enough because they feel too stiff, I put them behind my knee and let my body warm them up. Okay, we're gonna cut until we see our pattern. Same thing on this side. Oh, not quite there. Don't ever panic when it's not quite there because it is there. There you go. Okay, so we're gonna cut this into 5. And stand it up. Whoops, I didn't do a very good job on that. Wherever this line is, we're going to go through and pinch it and do that to each petal until we have them all about the same. Pinch this one. Oop, I can see black sticking on the table. This is really hard because you tend to want to over squeeze these, but you just need to go through and do them one by one until you have the whole thing. Now I know that you guys are familiar with this because we've done this in other episodes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fast forward a little bit and show you. So once we have all 5, we're going to fill in the space with the triangles, and ultimately we're going to end up with this cane. Once we have this, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to slowly work it and pull it. Whoop, see how we have an outie? I'm going to cut that off until we see our pattern. And again, when we're taking down a round cane, it comes down a little easier than a square cane. We're going to squeeze it, pull it, rotate it until we get it to the size that we need. Okay? That's our flower. Third cane is going to be the leaf. So just like I did on the first rice cane, I made a circle, wrapped it, rolled it, elongated it to this. Okay. Now we're going to take sections of this. I'm going to go a couple inches here. Okay, so this is my diameter, or my width. And now I'm going to pull it a little bit more to make it a little bit smaller. And I'm going to stack it on top. Whoop, whoops. But I'm going to make sure that my blade is facing down. Okay, so that goes on top. Then we're going to take this and we're going to pull it a little bit more. Get it the right length. Slice it and put it on top. I'm going to do it a couple more times. Basically what's happening is when you're looking at this cane, see how my little rice rectangles are getting smaller? That's what I'm doing here. And once I get as many, and you can do as many as you want, or as few as you want. The more you do, the more detail you're going to have. Okay, so once I have that, now I have, okay. Now you're learning a third shape to take down today because now you're going to work with a triangle. I'm going to take this and cut it in half, and then I'm going to flip it. Okay. Woo! But I'm not going to pinch it that hard. Okay, so okay, we're looking at this. Now we can tell we still need something else up at the top because it doesn't end bluntly. So we're going to take one and make it a little bit smaller. Put it on the top. The shape might look funky now, but it's all going to come together. Yeah, that's it. Okay, so now when you're taking down the triangles, this is how I do my palm fronds, my leaves, my starfish arms. This is a great technique to know how to do. See how it's starting to come together there? Okay, again, I'm going to cut my sides off so you can see. There it is. Okay. Now I'm pulling this down. This one takes a little bit more time, and you just have to keep working it and turning it and pull it down evenly, because it's easy to pull this one down incorrectly, because you want to be pushing down and then pulling at the same time. Okay. And we're going to keep doing this until we get it down to a tiny size. All right. Now when we're doing, back to our first cane, which is here. Okay. So now we've got 3 canes. We have our rice cane that we turned into a weave. We have our flower, and we have our leaf. So we're going to take our rice cane, and maybe you only want to take half of it because you might want to use some for something else. But with this, I'm going to pull it down a little bit more, cut it in half, do the same thing, even them up. Oh, actually, did I do that right? They have to be opposite. Okay. See how they're opposite? Okay. And then do it again. So you want to make sure that these don't match. All right, now we've got 4. Now I made my earrings on the small side. See how small this piece is? So with this, a lot of cane reduction today, but that's part of the process. Some of them I did a little bit bigger. Right? When I did like the pendant, I did it a little bit bigger, but it's up to you. Remember that polymer clay doesn't shrink or change. Exactly how you put it in the oven is how it comes out. So if you want big earrings, then make a big piece. If you want small earrings, then make it smaller. That part's totally up to you. I chose to make my earrings a little bit smaller than my pendant. Okay, so now we're here, and this is my background. I'm gonna cut off my end. Oh yeah! Okay, that looks great. You can see how it looks like a cool weave. Okay. Now when I'm making my earrings, I like to use a piece of parchment paper or any kind of paper, and work on that so that I'm not getting anything that's on the desk on there. Okay, so slice number 1, make sure it's clean, get rid of the weird part. 1 slice, 2 slice. Okay, now I always like to make my earrings opposite, so this is a mirrored image. It came from here and I went to there. Okay, then I'm going to take my flower, and I pulled it down more. Get it a little even. And on this I did 3 on each. You know what? Yeah. I always get more ideas as I'm working. 1, 2, 3. Rolling the cane as you cut it. Now I've got 6 little flowers. So I'm going to put the inside is going to be the center. Oh, okay, great learning moment. Check this out. See how there's something dirty looking on my white? This is why I wear gloves. You can see that I'm starting to get residue on my hands. So that glove is done. And a new glove is coming. This one's okay. I can't put it on. Okay, I'll take that off. Okay, so there's 1, we have 2, we have 3. Okay, oh, that's cute. We'll do the same thing on the other one. We've got 1, we have 2. That's a dirty one. I was thinking this would be such a cool border, like going around a turtle shell or a frame, a picture frame. God, that'd be cool too. Okay, so we have this size. Now when you're reducing things really small, it's ideal if you just take down a small part at a time, because if you take down the whole cane at the same time, it's hard to keep it consistent. Again, I'm doing the pushing on the table, pulling. Oh my gosh, I love this. This is a totally new style for me. I just started it last week and I'm kind of excited. Actually, I'm very excited. When you do something for 37 years and you come up with something new, you're like, yay! Okay, so with this one, I did two leaves for each of these and 3 for that, so I need 7 for each one. 7, I can count. So even though my hand can handle a glove, it was just hot. Okay, so we're going to take two little leaves and we're going to pinch them together like that. And then we're going to take that and we're going to go underneath like this. I think I want them in further. I'm going to peel them off. And like that. And do it again. Remember, you own your clay doesn't own you. Famous last words. Okay. There, I like that better. Now, I find that it's easier when I do one. If I'm going to do the opposite one at the same time, I'm not very good at keeping them exactly the same, but that way I kind of know what I did on the other one. So I like that. Okay, now we're going to do our next one at the bottom. It's going to go under here. This is what's great about the paper. Yeah, and then I can just push it down. I need a few more. This would be really cool and fun colors too. Okay, so 1, 2, and 3. See how I'm pushing them all together? I'm going to put it under here. Move it a little bit. Oh, I'm going to add a little more. There we go. Nailed it. Okay, you got that?
5 minutes.
Okay, perfect. This is going to go under here. And 1, 2, 3. It's going to go under here. Okay. All right. Woohoo! Okay, those guys are done. Then we're going to take these little eye pens that I like to use. And let's see, yeah, that's thick enough. Okay, so you know which one is your top. You see this thickness right here? I'm going to take this little pen and I'm going to go straight into the center. And what I do is I cook it with the pin in like that, and then I use my pliers and I pull it out, dip it in the glue and put it back in. That way it's the perfect fit. Okay, do the same thing with the other. All right. Oh, those are so fun. Okay, so now we can build a bigger one. We can play and do something a little different since we've got a couple minutes. You can also you can do the same thing for a big one, but you can also take like a larger slice and a couple of these little flowers and a couple of these little leaves and do something that matches but that's a little bit different. Again, take your little leaves, build them like this. You can put it down on here. Use this as your background and go like bing, bing, bing. You know, there's something else. Another cute little earring or a pendant. Again, you could take this and go on the top. So now you have 3 different canes that go together, and the sky is the limit for what you can do with it. Oh, I like that. That's cute. Okay. So once they've been fired and you bring them out, so then once they cool, we're going to do the gluing, and then we're going to put a jump ring on. And here I made it into a necklace, which I think is very, very cool. You could also take it and string beads and do different things like that with it. And the backs look cool too. So when you're wearing it as an earring, it doesn't matter which side. Actually, I can put them on, you can see. And guess what? You guys just learned how to make 3 canes and build earrings, pendants, and much, much more. I love having you here, and I look forward to our next class. Until then, aloha!
The preceding program was a production of Naleo TV.